So I've got some history with a bad doctor, or like not like relationship history, but just like just bad experiences with this one doctor in my back where I grew up. And like some of them are, he's the reason why I'm terrified of surgeries, because when I was 6 I had to get a surgery in my mouth, and he performed it without giving me any anesthetic. He didn't numb me, anesthesia, or anything. It was even basic painkillers or anything. He just grabbed me by my face and held me down and started like hacking my mouth apart, and then like, and just like, we're very aggressive, it's like stabbing into my mouth and like just ripping chunks of it out. And all the whole time I'm like, he's not letting me turn my head, so I'm like, my mouth is like filling up with blood, and it's like I'm like choking on it at this point, so I can't breathe, so I'm like choking on my blood and like being tortured by this guy who's screaming at me to shut up and stop screaming because the pain's all in my head. If I can't see it, I can't feel it. And then he threw a towel, like a little cloth, over my eyes so I couldn't feel it, or I couldn't see it. And then when he was finally done, like just slaughtering my face, he ended up breaking 3 needles, trying to stitch me up because he was aggressive. So he was stitching me so aggressively, like he like stabbed the needle like right into my like jawbone a few times. So yeah, that I hate getting surgeries. When I broke my jaw, he ate my jaw because I got my jaw broken when I was 14, and it didn't heal properly. It's permanently messed up, and like, is that because it's not, it doesn't sit in the joint properly, and because it healed like that, like all fucked up, it's now a very invasive surgery to fix it, which the doctors don't want to do because I have Tourette's and I can't control my movements, and so probably during the healing I'll end up doing more damage than it already has now. But yeah, his reason for refusing to let anyone x-ray my jaw was that I could move my tongue, so it was broken. And he's not gonna let anyone waste their time x-raying at me. A few months after I broke my jaw, I fell down a cliff when I was 14, and landed on my back. I fell a good like 13 or 15 feet probably before I hit before I like landed on anything, and then I rolled probably like another 15-20 feet down the hill. Or down the rocks, but like at least it was wintertime, so like there was a lot of snow to pack to like cushion the fall, but still like I didn't even feel like injured at the point. It must have been just my adrenaline or shock or something, because I just got up and brushed myself off, and I was like, wow, I was glad no one's around to see that, and just like walked away. The next morning though, I needed my mom to help me like actually get out of bed because I couldn't get up myself, and my lower back was so bruised and swollen it looked like I had a baboon's ass stacked on top of my ass. I went to school, and then I got sent to, my teacher saw the bruise like poking up from underneath my shirt, so she noticed that, so she sent me to the hospital and told me that it's not going to go against my imperfect attendance, so just to go then, because I was tired saying I could go after school. She's like, no, it's like, you need to go now. And yeah, so there the doctors had the same like awful doctor who x-rayed the top of my skull. My jaw's still broken at this point, but he made sure like he had it so for like the very top of my cranium only, so it was like from here up, so you couldn't. So my jaw was even showing in that X-ray to even be able to tell that it was injured. And like when he showed it to us, we were like, just like, this is the top of my skull holding that. And we were like, what is that? And my mom was like, that's not her lower back. He's like, she just wants attention. He's just like, even if no matter how much attention someone wants, they can't just like bruise like that from that wanting attention. Like there's bruise like that from that wanting attention. Like there's an actual injury there. And he refused to x-ray my lower back and treat it, so I've got a permanent spinal injury too that I've even shrunk 2 inches from. My bottom vertebrae is partially collapsed, and I have multiple compressed and slip discs in my spine. So I've been in constant pain since I was 14 years old. That sucks. And also, again, another reason why I haven't gotten surgery for it is because of not being able to control my movements because of my Tourette's, and there's a high possibility that while it's healing, I'll end up twitching or something and causing more damage. Which sucks a lot. But when I was 17, this is the last time I dealt with this doctor in so long, or when he decided that he's no longer dealing with me anymore. I was in the emergency room because I had 3 broken ribs. And I already saw the X-ray. I already got my X-rays and everything to confirm it. I didn't have any problems with my shoulders. And for some reason, he grabbed my right arm and pulled and twisted it and completely dislocated my shoulder, and I don't know why. Um, so yeah, I like freaked out, and I tried to punch him with my left arm, but I suck at doing anything with my left hand. So he like flipped out, and he's like, "I'm not dealing with you anymore." He's like, "You're just like it." I'm like, "Oh, you're a shitty doctor, anyways." Like, I'm like, I'm like, no, at least I'll have a doctor who knows what they're doing to deal with me. But next time I come in here, I won't get with any more permanent injuries. But then, when I'm 26, no, when I was 27, no, I was 26. Yeah, I tripped and fell and landed on my hand on a curb, like, and it had a bit of a grating sticking out of it, and broke my ulna, my radius, and my metacarpal thumb bone. But like, I hadn't even curb imprinted my hand for like 3 weeks. But when I was when I went to the hospital the next day to get X-rayed, and I had confirmed that there's three broken bones in my right arm, my right hand or wrist. I was talking to the nurse, and like, we're just having a very nice conversation with this lady, and for like a good hour, because it wasn't very busy in there. And then the curtain into in the examination room pulls them like just really fast, and it's my old shitty doctor from my hometown. And I thought, like, just from probably was just the shock of seeing him, but it sounded like, instead of saying like, "Hello, I'm Doctor," his name, I thought he said, "Hello, Shyla, it's," and like with it, doctor or whatever. So I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Just passed out. The nurse is just shocked, because at this point, because I've just been so like calm and nice and like mild mannered, and then suddenly like I'm just like in like just so like hostile to this guy, because like, what is he doing there? I'm literally like 8 hours away, like living in a different, totally different end of the province. Like, because like I grew up in Northern Manitoba. I'm now in Winnipeg, which is Southern Manitoba, like opposite side. It's like 8 hours. So there's 8 hours between us. Like, it's not close. So like, I'm just like freaked out, because I'm like, "Oh yeah, what are you here?" And just found out I happen to be injured again. You want to just like, give me another, just want to like treat me like leave another one of my injuries like left untreated, so I have another permanent injury. I'm like just giving this guy like just not just, because I'm thinking it's the one I grew up in with fun, and like I'm like freaked out. I go on Facebook, and I'm like just stressed out. I'm like what the fuck is this doctor doing here? I'm like why is he in Winnipeg? I'm like, and then and I was just paranoid, and I was like, right, freaked out, because like I have like this guy has just been a menace to me my whole life, like pretty much. I haven't had like any issue. Like, he tried fighting, like he's gotten into so many fights with me, though, because like I've just had to deal with him way more than just those times that he's like with my jaw, my surgery, or my back, or the time that he dislocated my shoulder. Like, I had to deal with him like a lot for like 17 years before he finally decided he's not dealing with me anymore. Actually, I had to deal with him one more time. That's when I cut the tip of my left thumb off, and like he just, instead of stitching it back together like it probably should have needed, he just put a bunch of glue on it and then told me to like, because he wasn't taking the time to stitch me up. So I'm like just freaked out, because I'm like, what, like out of all chances, like out of any of that, like that I would end up with him here for some reason, for whatever reason why he's in Winnipeg. And right after I left, like literally, like, I was not even like maybe 2 minutes like after leaving the hospital at most, because like I pretty much was like at the just not even a full block away yet, I get a message from someone telling me that that doctor is actually in the ER in Flin Flon right at that moment, and that he has an identical twin brother who's a doctor down here in Winnipeg, and that's who I had. I felt like such a dick, but yeah, I felt like such a jerk. I even like asked this orthopedic surgeon, because it was at the same hospital. I was like, can you tell the doctor who referred you to call me, that I'm sorry for how I treated him? I thought he was his like twin brother.